Great, let's move along to the next pair of the first 18. And we are looking at the Gospel of Thomas now in the themes that would have been spoken about and shared and taught in the first century. These themes became the sayings. So what we're doing is we're deconstructing the sayings and we're getting back to the themes that matter for each one of us. This is a global message. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, these themes will resonate with you. So the next pair, which is 1.3 and 116, look at the illusion of the senses and of perception. That's the theme that runs through there. It's the illusion of the senses and perception. So let's read those two out. 1.3, I will give you what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no hand has touched, and what has not occurred in anyone's mind. 116, the old man, aged in days, will not hesitate to ask a small child of 7 days about the place of life, and he will live again. And there's an extra part on the bottom of these two, which says, for many who are first shall become last, and they will become a single one. Now that has an alternative ending, which is, and they will become one and the same. So we'll look at both of those. I will give you what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no hand has touched, and what has not occurred in anyone's minds. If we look back at the theme which is running through the sayings so far, the revelation is that you have a living spirit and that there is a non-physical dimension to you that you have to find. And that because of the way that we are all brought up, we don't encounter that dimension. Nobody speaks about it. Even when you follow your religion, they don't speak about that non-physical world unless they are talking about God and the Son and the Holy Ghost. There is an element of understanding which is simply left off. We don't have the information that we need. It says it does not occur in anyone's mind. And because of that, we go through life following what our parents have done, what our friends and peers, what society does, what our culture does, what we're educated to do, what our religion tells us to do. That's where we get our information. We watch the TV. We get information off the internet. But if there is something missing, we don't get it. And that's why this is incredibly important, that you get this information now. You need to know that you have a living spirit that you can actively interact with. It is you. How astonishing is that? You're not just this physical being that thinks. Just because you're awake, that doesn't mean that you're aware of everything that goes on around you. These sayings are giving you the things that the environment and your society and your upbringing has not given you. That's an astonishing revelation. Let's expand on that. 116, the old man. will not hesitate to ask a young child of 7 days. The young child is still connected to that spirit dimension, to the non-physical. It hasn't been corrupted by the world yet, hasn't been indoctrinated, hasn't got all its thoughts and habits and patterns, and none of that has been laid on it just yet. Now it's 7 days here because that is to do with the Hebrew tradition of circumcision. That happens on the 8th day. And what it's saying is that that is when the small child gets its first proper encounter with the world. And that's when it begins this kind of separation from the non-physical dimension. So the old man in the story has lived his whole life without knowing that that non-physical dimension was there. And at that moment when he meets a small child, he realizes that there is something missing. There is a connection that this child has that I don't have at the end of my life. That's what he begins to seek in this saying. He's looking for that thing that has been missing. Now, the end of this saying is quite telling. It doesn't seem to go with the rest of the sayings, but it has a crucial message for us. For many who are first shall become last. And we need to take that as a separate statement to begin with. The first who will become last. That is pointing us in the direction of those who put themselves first in the world. Those who seek power, control, wealth. Those who put themselves at the top of what society calls success. Their immersion in those very human desires are what stops them from finding the non-physical world. The first in the world will become last to make this discovery. And I want to focus on the alternative ending which some writers have put in their books, and that is, and they will become one and the same. One and the same is telling us that unless we make this discovery within ourselves, then we are all one and the same, regardless of your position in the world, regardless of your stature, regardless of your wealth and power and control. Regardless of all of those things, we are all one and the same if we don't know that there is a non-physical dimension, a consciousness that we are immersed in. If we don't know that, then we are all one and the same. We're all in the same boat. So that is an incredible pair of sayings, and we can see that it rolls over from the other pairs. There is a cascading effect here of knowledge and understanding, with one theme rolling into another theme, rolling into another theme. So the theme of these pairs here was the illusion of the senses and perception. In meditation, and with the knowledge that you're now presented with, you can start to retune your senses, retune your perception, and start to sense and feel and understand this other dimension that you are immersed in all of the time.